Ask Bill Week here on Bill Dance Outdoors. During these special episodes airing throughout the season, Bill will answer all kinds of fishing-related questions sent in by his viewers. Today, Bill is headed to the mighty Mississippi River near his hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. He's got giant catfish on his mind, as do so many of our viewers these days.
Little one. I think. Yeah, he's little. I don't know. Yeah, he's little. Oh, I mean little. Come here, you little French fry. Got a blemish on it. Talk about a sport that's growing by huge tugs and hard pulls. Well, it's this one here, catfishing. You know, there are more folks doing this than you can ever imagine. And let me tell you why. It's simple, because catfish are so abundant. Basically easy to catch, and they're found in ponds to lakes to small creeks to big rivers like we have here. And finally, they're more fun to catch than any words can describe. So, with this in mind, we'd like to devote our time today to a question and answer session on catfishing, similar to what we did a couple of years ago. That Bill Dance Outdoor segment was very popular with our viewers, simply because it included many of the questions we often hear. Like this one here. Where I live, many catfishermen call the blue cat a white cat. So is this the same fish? Well, that makes me wonder if the writer was from Middle Tennessee, because I've seen and heard the same thing. Now, to answer your question, they are not the same. In fact, they're sometimes even mistaken for channel cats. A sure way to identify each is by counting the number of fleshy spines, or rays, in the anal fin. Whites have between 19 and 23. Channel cats have between 24 and 30, and blue cats between 30 and 36. Now, whites average only 2 to 4 pounds in most parts of the country, and the large ones rarely exceed 10 pounds. Beyond 4 years of age, the channel's growth rate continues to escalate while the white cat stagnates. This fish is native primarily to the eastern seaboard states from New York to Florida, but they have been stocked in rivers and lakes along the west coast, as well as a few northern states. Now, here's a good question concerning odor. What causes a catfish to come to your bait? Well, the answer to this is right under your nose. It's by smell. But they smell a lot different than we do. Catfish have chemoreceptors all along their body that triggers not only the olfactory sense, but the sense of taste as well. The catfish smells the bait and actually tastes the bait at the same time. So for catfish to smell and taste scents in the water, all they have to do is come in contact with that odor in the water. Surprisingly, that odor can come from a long distance depending on several factors: the amount of bait put in the water, the speed of the currents, and the width or the expanse of the water in which the odor has been placed. Now, these old boys have small openings located on the top portion of their head between their eyes and upper lip. They're called nares and lead to small chambers with a series of folds. Catfish have more folds than any other freshwater fish. These folds increase the surface area for smelling, and with over 175,000 taste buds on the surface of their body, you can say they're virtually a swimming tongue. It didn't feel big at first. He was coming right at me. There he comes. That's good. I may have to net this baby. talking? Oh, that's a pretty one, ain't it? I want 50 pounds. All right, I'm going to turn you loose here. Yes, sir. Woo!
Bill.
And right down the river. Hey, baby. Tugging, tugging. There he goes. All you can do is just hold on. Big boy there. Hey, look at that drag go. Big old rough looking blue. Get my net. Come on back up here, Buster. Slide right in there like a good boy. That big old head. What are you doing, your big old head? Huh? What are you doing with your big old head? There it is. Okay, I ain't gonna get my hands cut up. I'm gonna put on my underwater Jacques Cousteau specials here. Slip them on. Them things get you out of breath, boy. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. Hello. Big old mouth. Yeah. Look at him just clamp down on me. Got you now. Ah. Okay. You gonna start that? Yes, sir. All right, I'm gonna turn you loose. I'm gonna turn you loose. Ain't no easy in flipping them back. Woo! The little gloves, they look goofy. But I tell you what, they'll sure save your hands. Woo! I like that. Yes, I do. All right, what were we talking about? Where are we? What's going on here? Oh, yeah, we're talking about questions. All right, here's another question I hear concerning smell. Is it true that smellier baits are better? Well, a great number of catfishermen believe that the more the bait smells, the better it'll produce. However, research has shown that the ingredients that make a bait smell are not necessarily the ingredients that cause a catfish to come to the bait. They've also discovered that many of the baits that produce catfish don't have a foul smell at all. Now you take like this cut bait here, it's got a little faint smell, but it's not real offensive. Research has shown that fresh cut baits actually attract and cause catfish like the channel and blue to bite more readily than foul smelling rancid baits. Generally, freshly caught cut bait will draw in and cause more cats to bite than that same bait will if it's rancid or allowed to spoil. Hear him talking? There we go. Huh? See you, pretty thing.
Log is brought to you by Blue Lizard Australian Sun Cream.
Dermatologists, cancer centers, and pharmacies all across the country agree. Using Blue Lizard prevents skin cancer. Why? It's simply the best. Alrighty, here's another question concerning bait. In your opinion, what is the best bait to catch a big blue cat? Well, there's several. Crawfish, night crawlers, large grasshoppers, even a gob of catawba worms works well from time to time. But fresh bait, either cut or whole, is among the most popular. Skipjack herring, like we're using today. Threadfin and gizzard shad are a top choice in many areas of the country. Now up north, chub suckers are a good bet. We recently got an email from a catfish angler in Kentucky wanting to know where he might obtain a good map of the Mississippi River. Well, this old river, the mighty Mississippi, is of course one of the longest rivers in the world, stretching 2,550 miles from its origin in northern Minnesota to where it empties into the Gulf of Mexico. Maps of the Mississippi River are available in two different sets. One set is of the upper Mississippi from the mouth of the Ohio River to 10 miles above Minneapolis, Minnesota. The second map set includes the lower Mississippi River from Cairo, Illinois to the Gulf. To acquire maps of the upper Mississippi, contact Gone West at 1-800-537-7962. For the lower Mississippi, contact the Vicksburg District Office, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers at 601-631-5042. There's one. There he comes. Whoa, boy. Look at that bull. Get in line. Anything much with him? Well, that right there looks bad, like he's been rolling on the bottom. Okay, slide in this net, Robusta. That ain't the way you net a fish, Bill. You gotta come around like that. Woo! Gun use time. Break my wrist. Come here, big fat bunny. You cut my hand all to pieces. I'm gonna pick you up. It takes a week. Look at that. Woo!
It's not new anymore, but I keep her running strong.
Okay, here's a good question concerning the blue cat. Can they be caught during the winter? Absolutely. You know, some of the biggest blues caught are caught when the water temperature drops below the 40-degree mark. Whereas most game fish, they become real sluggish in water that's frigid. But the blue cat, no way. You know, they fight aggressively and they put up a world-class fight. Normally, when we say 40 degrees, you know, that may be exaggerating a little bit. I've caught them in 36 37 degree water and caught some real good ones in that depth of water. But 50 degrees down, 50 to 45, boy, we catch some fine fish. And there's one right there in that depth of water. He's coming right down the river with it. Yep. I think he's got, yes. That's one of them old boys right there. I'm not kidding you. Tell you what, it'll get you out of breath. Ooh, look at that pretty thing. Whoa. And I will net you. Get my net again. Turn your head around here. Swim in there. Nope. He went in and went out. Can you believe that? Hard to do. He's a cotton. A cotton? Yeah, he's a cotton. So I got to stand up to do this. I have to be quick with this. Don't do it. There he started. I'm going to turn you loose now. Don't act crazy. Pretty fish. Pretty fish. Yep. Here we go. Woo! Yes! Woo! As I said in the beginning, catfishing is really becoming a popular sport in many areas. And I can promise you, from my own personal experience, that if you ever give it a try, you'll get hooked, just as I did a long time ago. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Yes!
If you have a good question, send it to Ask Bill on our website, and it just may be one he selects to answer on a future show. Until next week, thanks for tuning in, and good fishing.
Stay tuned after these messages for Bill's Fishing Tip of the Week.